Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Hard Shift. Kind of make this all professional now, where we're going to be sitting here talking about PUBG.
Why start
Kinda,
now?
kinda. We're really just going to kind of talk about whatever catches our fancy as we go through this. Naturally, we'll be talking about some PUBG topics. My name is Matrym. Next to me is Porosaurus. We're just going to do a quick round the table and let everybody introduce Poro.
I feel like everybody in the chat probably already knows me, and that's like, I'm a superstar international caster, analyst, and host. The only one that's done all three. Thanks. So you know who I am. You know who I am.
Oh, very slight. I just like it. Oh, I'm the only one. With the sex appeal. All right, Pat's leaned into the camera close, so you go ahead and start. You can go ahead and say. Tell us about yourself.
Pat Caps. Guess you could say I'm currently a free agent. I like to snipe in PUBG, and yeah, people used to call me Pat Hacks.
Pat Hacks. I
mean,
remember those days.
It's kind of funny because both of the people we picked tonight have had accusations go their way before.
Yeah, the good old days.
The good old days. So with that, let's just go over and talk to Hacker McCoy. Go ahead and give us a bit about yourself.
Yeah, McCoy. I play PUBG.
Short and sweet.
Short and sweet here. Okay. So naturally, we're going to be going through a couple of topics. And the way it's going to kind of go down is I'm going to talk about all the time.
Fucking serious.
God, you know how much I've been streaming on so many like events. I haven't had a chance to say fuck on stream in so long. Oh,
You can't curse
so
at all.
good.
Fuck.
Feels so good.
Just say it. Say it with me, chat. Fuck. I don't feel that's such.
Yeah, let's get a fuck in the chat.
Yeah, just go ahead, bring it in. Yeah,
let's get it all out. Get it all
bringing it through here. All right. So you guys have already got the vibe of this. It's not the most serious podcast, so we're gonna be going through and kind of talking with everyone. Oh, did the audio cut out? Don't you toy with me.
I think you're getting trolled.
I think I'm getting trolled.
Wait, Penta says mic cutting in and out every now and then.
Are you peeking? You might be peeking. I'm peeking.
Of course, you would scuff this up.
I would scuff this up.
I know. Look at him. Come on. He's a streamer caster.
All right.
He's not a professional like you guys and me.
All right, guys. Does that work better?
Yeah.
Let me test it again. Fuck. Is it cutting out now or is it fine? Are we good? All right, we'll wait for them to catch up. All right, so you were talking a second ago, Poro. Before we get into the first major topic. Yeah, there's like a little bit of it there. The reason I have to have this back over here is you know this story, Poro. My house.
Yeah, I know. Okay, so I had a green screen up, right? Okay, chat. Here's the deal. So I had a green screen up. We were going into this completely professionally, right? Had the green screens up. These two didn't. Well, these two, I guess, because they can't afford green screens. What with their ghost contract and the free agent salary.
Yeah, dude. That's too much money for me.
The free agent salary is the pinnacle of making money right now, right?
But so eventually, Matrym's being professional, going through chroma key and everything, making sure everybody looks great. I look like shit like 90% of the time, so I'm used to it. He's used to having like makeup people all around Hollywood, all that kind of stuff. But so eventually we're just like, you know what, this takes too long. Fuck it, let's tear down the green screen. I pull my green screen down, pull out the casting couch from back in the old days of PUBG Online, and Matrym pulls down his green screen, and there's a fucking black screen behind it. Like, what is the point behind the black screen?
All right. So see, we're gonna go dark now.
Let's hear it.
About a year and a half ago, actually, my house was a victim of a drive-by shooting. So
what? Wonka S.
I have to have the screens up because I don't know if they're still there. Yeah, I don't know if you can see them over there back in the corner. No, it's a little bit too high, but there's gunshots still there because my landlord sucks and never fixed it.
Well, that's
so yeah, see, there you go. So
that's what we have to live like. This is the life that we have to live on caster salaries.
I know.
Maybe Matrym did the drive-by shooting, so they move out.
Dude, no, I've been here a year after drive-by shooting. I need to get out.
You never know. You never know.
All right.
What do you want to talk about, Matt?
All right. First things first.
Synchronized. All right.
Let's do this, dude. Me and Poro have known each other way too long.
Yeah,
we have the synergy.
It's true.
Synced up.
So naturally, there is the roster Royale conversation that's going on, and everybody's going through and talking about blah 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 this and who's on what rosters. But I don't want to do that. Like, kind of one of the things that we want to do with this podcast is get to know players a little bit more and kind of talk about experiences and how it all goes through. So with this, we actually have a great opportunity because we've got a player that's been on a very stable team that's going through roster Royale, picking up a new player, or kind of surviving inside of the existence that's going on. And on the other side of it, We've got somebody that's been a staple of the community for, gosh, you played in the very first couple of the events in PUBG Online, didn't you, Pat?
Back in the Pat Hacks days, yeah.
Contender series
yeah.
in October, I think it was.
So
It's been
somebody
been
that's
a while.
been going through this whole process trying to find a team so we can kind of get both sides of it. And that's like one of those experiences not everybody really gets to be a part of. So I guess we'll kind of start off with, I guess we'll go with the easier route in McCoy over there, just kind
Yeah,
of
dude.
chilling. So Nat, there's what's it like trying to go through the chaos right now with like having to try out so many different people? You guys are kind of like one of the known commodity teams inside of PUBG right now.
Yeah,
And
you've got to
so-
have a lot of people coming knocking on your door. You know,
Yeah.
as soon as the news that Profi was stepping down and going and looking for more different options, you probably had a lot of people signing up, trying to get tryouts. How did that work out?
Yeah, we definitely have a lot of people like messaging us, and like some people who have like never talked to me before, and like people who like, in my opinion, like if I was like, I don't want to say bad, but like if I was like an open series team or like player, I wouldn't be messaging like a tier 1 team or a tier 2 team. You know, I'd be like, okay, I gotta work my way up, prove myself. So I'm getting messaged by like completely random people, or some random guy joins the chat, like, oh, I hear the guys have tryouts. I'm like, I have no clue who the fuck you are.
So
like, right now
you tried
it's-
them out, right? If no, that's actually
Yeah,
the way it
yeah,
works.
dude. Yep,
Totally.
they go on the list. Yep, 100%.
But
Like-
okay, go ahead.
Okay, so like it started off like good because we were Tony Extreme. Then the 3 from 1 region role thing happened, so it's like oof.
Mm.
And it's like we're still using Extreme, and then we've been playing with Frolicker, and that's been going pretty well. And then yeah, so we're just using Extreme for a bit longer because we got all those tournaments coming up, and then we got to find another person as well.
All right.
So everybody extreme being the Australian player played for Tainted Minds. I think he was subbing for Tainted Minds. He usually
Yeah,
plays
he's
for
on
Greyhound.
Greyhound. Yeah.
Yeah, subbing for Tainted Minds at Starladder, and I think didn't he end up being the damage leader, like overall damage leader?
Second damage leader and highest
Second.
knocks.
That's a boss performance there.
Well, and then
Matrym?
you hit on something we got to jump into in just a second because naturally we got to talk about the ruling because I know that's been that came down and drew a little bit of attention to say the least. But let's talk about the other side of it real quick. So what's it like being a player in all of this that's trying to go out and get onto a team, get signed?
It's pretty tough because, you know, as they say, NA scrims aren't as serious. So
Hey,
tough to really
that
get a good
personally
tryout out
hurts
there,
me.
you know?
Banter right at Poro. Sorry, Poro,
Yeah.
your scrims
You know,
are trash.
we're playing games with no vest.
Yeah.
You
By the
know,
way,
look, okay.
well, okay, no.
First
I'm gonna
mistake
say
I've
this.
had in like 5 fucking weeks. I don't want to hear it from either of you assholes. Like, god damn it.
We were down to play it out.
You
The
waited
ar-
like half an hour.
You're
dude,
gonna
what
lose
the
your
hell?
vest anyway. Like
This
the
is so-
armored vest column in the custom server is right next to the level 3 helmet, and I thought that you had to turn level 3 helmets off because they show up in crates, right? But apparently you don't. Apparently you can keep
no, they
them
just
on.
don't spawn.
Oh, whatever. Fuck it.
So,
So you
for-
had
job,
a
Laura.
scrim with no vest.
For everybody
Shut
that was
up, I hate
bitching
you.
about why it's taking so long and why we're so late getting started today, you now know.
It's 'cause of Poro.
Yeah, it's Poro.
Poro
Because of
doesn't
me.
know how to make lobbies. So
we
God damn
looted
it.
for like 10 minutes and then restarted the game.
Yeah, fucking porno.
Vets were vest. See, Microphone knows what's up. Vest wearing crates. Quit being
See, yeah,
pussies.
you could have
go
gone
with
for the
crates.
crates. Could have gone for the crates. God. All right. So, other than just having terrible scrims, what's it like? Like bouncing between all of because how many teams have you been on? Like, if you count like unsigned teams that you played across.
Because I know God Squad from
Well,
PBI.
God
That's-
Squad was so it started as mouse play,
Mouse.
if you remember
Yeah, that
from
was
Contenders.
way back then.
and I was on
way
that
back there,
team with
yeah.
Sharpshot.
It's
And
salon quality hair, dude. Throw it
Yeah,
back.
It's salon
Oh,
quality
yeah.
fucking hair, dude. Holy
Dude,
shit! I forgot about
Salon is the man, by the way. If he's watching, probably
Wasn't he
is, but-
EU?
No, he was NA.
He was.
He
NA?
actually,
Oh, man.
funny story. He actually went to the same college as I did at the same exact time.
Oh no! And you didn't know until you were playing
Until
together.
we were on, yeah.
That's
we
fucking
were just like
crazy.
talking about like stuff we did before, and I was like, "Yeah,
That's
I went to
awesome.
like U Albany," and he's like, "Wait, so did I." Like, wait, what? and,
Yeah.
and someone on my intramural softball team was his freshman year roommate, so it's like small world.
Oh shit! Intramural softball. You played real sports, not just
Yeah.
esports.
Yeah,
What
in
do
high
you
school,
Esports
too.
is real sports.
That's
What-
right,
what-
Poro. God.
Yeah, what the hell,
We're getting
Poro?
covered by ESPN now, Poro.
Well, that's
Stop.
everybody
Yeah, come
coming
on.
after my ass tonight. Jesus Christ!
You're an easy target.
I know.
Yeah,
it's
it's
just,
true.
Yeah.
it's just right there.
Yeah,
I
you're
think
not
it's the
wrong.
shirt.
Yeah.
The shirt just
It's
draws
probably
the
the
fire.
shirt. I'm just
Yeah.
channeling my inner toffees right now.
It's pretty-
Yeah, but
oh,
anyway, so mouse play turned into God Squad when we lost 2 players, and it was just me and Sharp, and that's when we picked up Pistola, and we tried other people out, and We had Shark on our team, Shark OW, Shark Yeet,
Oh.
but he left
Oh, I
for
remember Shark.
MLGB, so we ended up picking up Lil Prodigy and stuff
You
like
And
that.
when did y'all get Drassel?
We got Drassel when Sharp went to Wildcard.
Okay. Sharp. Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. Sharp took the wild card
Then
contract.
didn't you guys get Taylor J?
We got Taylor J for PGI because Prodigy wasn't of
Okay.
legal age for the tournament.
Poor
All right.
illegal prod.
Let's just go
Illegal
ahead
prod.
and talk about the thing.
All right.
And
Yeah,
let's talk about region locking essentially by requiring 3 players from the region to be there and the age thing. Because I know that like a lot of teams looked like they were starting to get finalized and it was like, oh hey, wait a minute. Here are these rules. And I know that there's quite a few like we like to joke about the fact that it'll be 5 years before Poonage can actually be old enough to play inside of the PUBG League.
Pray
But,
for Kickstart.
Pray for Kickstart. One day it'll happen.
Hashtag pray
But
for Kickstart.
what's everybody's opinions on that? We'll actually start over there with you, Poro, this time around.
Well, actually, I wanted to hit McCoy with this one because they were going through the process at the time, right? So you had Extreme, you had Tony Sosa, and then this news comes down. So just to clarify, also because everybody knows, Balak, Turtle, both from Denmark. Does this ruling impact their ability to play for Ghost?
Well, actually, we were getting rid of Turtle, or he left. Like he wasn't feeling comfortable in the team, so we let him go. So that's why we were playing with Tony and Extreme. And then it was like weird because we were like in the process of like getting them contracts and stuff, and then the rule dropped, and we were like, oh, good thing we didn't sign them because it was like a week later.
Yeah,
It's like,
right.
oh, we just signed 2 players for no reason.
Well, that's like super quick though, isn't it? But for Balak's okay though, right? Like he's good
Balog's fine. Balog's our one.
it's because it's residency, right?
No.
Not just-
You have to have like a green card and like be a citizen.
Permanent
okay.
resident.
Yeah.
Permanent resident. Okay, so
You can't have a visa. You have
It's like
be
you
an
have to
actual
do the thing that like they did back with League in the day, where like they moved out Bjergsen, got all that stuff, and then he's been there for like 5 years, so now he's on an import.
Right. Okay, so
Just-
for all the
just-
EU players that have moved over, they're good to go.
Find
Except-
him a wifey in NA.
There
Yeah,
you
that's
go.
what I
There's
told
a
him. I told him to
solution.
marry Jabroni's cousin.
Yeah.
Easy. I mean,
This is why-
hey, look,
This is why it's
Balak
so
knows
easy.
how to cook. He's gonna be
Are we
good.
lagging or is it just me? I think it's just
We like?
I
No,
don't
we're
think
just.
so.
It was
I
just
think
me.
it's just you.
we're back though.
But-
We're good.
But anyway, so okay, so you brought up, you were getting DMs from all these different people you never heard of, all this kind of shit. But let me, and I'll kind of put this to both of y'all as people that have been around the scene for a long time, right? This is something that I've talked to Matt about, I've talked to different people about. But do you ever get the feeling that NA in particular, it's just recycling the same players over and over again, and we're not really getting a lot of new talent coming into the scene? Like there might be players out there that we just don't know about that maybe you could find through Face It or something like that that's popping up now. But I personally, and I'm don't ask me to quote names because I'm not going to try to get that toxic in this chat, but like there's players that are playing on teams right now that probably don't need to be on teams, and that's just a fact. Like there's different better players out there, and that's what I believe. I don't know how y'all feel about this for players outside the scene that are trying to come in. Like, are you guys willing to try out? Would you be willing to try and play with somebody who hasn't been on a team before?
Well,
Yeah, I'm willing. And we did it for Starladder. We used Algin. Like he's only
but he's been playing
He's been
on.
around.
Yeah,
He's
been around, but it's not like Packcaps has been around. He like tried out on teams, or like Drassel, he's been on teams and Luminosity and all that stuff. It's like he's been an unsigned player. He's been playing with like friends, and like they sort of got competitive, and then like he has potential. But like then we tried him out, and we didn't like how he fit in, so we moved on.
The problem that I see is that PUBG has a lot to do with like game sense and like awareness more than just like raw aim. Right. So like these players who might have like insane shots and stuff like that, they don't have any experience playing in like real competitive games, and there's no way for them to get that. Like, because even the open series games are probably far different than like the ones that we play, and you're not going to get any sort of experience playing pubs because we all know that pubs are just hot drops and there's like 30 alive per circle. Well, so maybe when the ranking system comes out, and if it's actually done well and there's a real elo system for the games, then maybe some people will start to get better and they'll get that game sense awareness and all that, and then you can see some fresh talent coming in. But right now it's not happening because
like for example, okay, so I just pulled up the Face It the leaderboards for Master right now. Okay, number 11. There you go. Number 11, South XD, Do you know who this guy is?
Yes, that's Pride.
That's Pride.
Yeah.
Oh,
Y'all
yeah,
need to
kinda-
start. Okay, Jetmar. Jetmar.
No, I don't know Jomar. I don't think.
So anyone in Master League right now, I don't think it's possible to like rank up. So anyone that's in Master League, I give it Master League.
Actually, it is possible, but it's just super hard because if
Okay,
you
so it
don't
is-
win, you like lose elo.
Yeah.
So,
But like pulling, so like, and it's hard for fucking NA right now because
NA
for-
keeps
Oh,
Keep it
I
dead.
switched.
And
I switched to EU.
everyone's
Yeah.
on EU.
Yeah.
everybody's on EU right now, so NAQs are pretty much dead. But from everything that we've heard, NA is they're gonna start prioritizing that. a little bit
Jetmar
more,
is
try to get
Grizzly
more.
Mallard, by the way. Chad is saying.
Grizzly
Oh,
Mallard.
really?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Hey, what's
Well,
up,
there you
Grizzly Mallard?
So look, it's like literally like we can't even fucking use Face It to find new talent
everyone
because
has 50.
everybody on there is
Okay.
people that we fucking
There's
know.
no
So
elo
where do you-
system.
Well,
Yeah, where do you
that
find
and the
new
fact that it
players?
was only based off of a certain, like, we have to grow into it. Face It needs to get a little bit bigger and help, like, naturally open up a lot more and get a lot more people involved. That's when we'll start finding people, because naturally the people that'll be involved in Face It right now are people that are already competitively minded. So while it's great and I love what they have going on, it'll be a little while before we start finding like new players inside of it. Now, what I'm worried about is 9 times out of 10, whenever you have like a ranking system inside of a competitive game, it's really just about burning more and winning a little bit more than you lose. As long as you win a little bit more than you lose, you can continue to climb up until you get to a certain point, and then you just kind of like stabilize, and then you just have to really, really win. But it's not until you get to like that top 1,000 or 2,000 that it really, really matters. So finding like fresh blood has been kind of rough because we talk about it like with scrims, it's really hard to like know what teams to bring in inside of scrims as you go through. With the way that we kind of had the past couple of months have been just stacked with events. So we really haven't had the online leagues bringing in people with like relegation series or anything else like that. And we're even seeing relegation series kind of dropping out even in the online leagues to a certain extent.
Yeah. So like, I mean, what do y'all think about that though? Do you think, is for at least for right now, for the purposes of the first season of PUBG Pro League, I mean, are we pretty much just going to see the same exact teams?
Yeah.
I mean, McCoy, I know you were talking a little bit about how you think it's going to play out with the qualifier process.
Yeah. So not being toxic, there's like 10 tier 1 good NA teams, and
Yeah.
there's about like
I mean, I agree.
4 to 5 consistent tier 2 teams that like on a good day they can have a good day, and then like a bad day, and like yeah. So at least 2 or 3 of the good tier 1 good teams aren't going to make it, at least. So that's going to be 7, and then let's say like 2 or 3 of the tier 2 teams make it. So that's 10. That means there's going to be 6 teams that we've never fucking seen before make it, and then get picked up by like Fnatic, SK, and all those teams. And then they're just going to come in, never played competitive before. They just got like circle lucky, or like let's say they popped off or whatever, and got like did really fucking well in the qualifiers. And then they go in, they're like, wait a second, we've never played a fucking online league before, or even like a long-lasting tournament, and they're just gonna get dicked, and it's gonna be like an easy pro league.
Well, that's
But
the
you
thing.
don't think the 40 game or the long ass qualifier process would keep that from happening? Though?
Has that been confirmed? Qualifier?
Yeah, I think it's in November.
For Pro League?
Ooh.
Yeah.
It's
Full
sent out.
qualifier?
It's gonna
Is
be
there-
a land one.
Is there a link
Well,
for that?
we have nothing confirmed before we
Nothing
go in,
confirmed. This is all-
we
this is all,
are
say
all
nothing
just
confirmed.
talking off of things that we've seen,
Like
on
rumors and, like, yeah.
forums and blah blah blah
Yeah.
blah blah.
Yeah.
The way I see it is I don't see why they don't go the route of something like H1, League of Legends, Overwatch, where they sell spots to orgs.
Okay, well I can confirm that there's no invites and there's no franchising right now, so it's all qualifiers,
Well, I
all
mean,
16 spots.
people at PUBG Corp have been very actively stated the fact that they really like qualifiers and they don't necessarily like everything being directed at invite, which to be honest, I like, because we do.
Yeah.
It's one of the things we just talked about is the fact that we want fresh blood coming into the scene. So I like that. I like the fact that.
But at the same
qualifiers.
time,
Now,
I
how
want
many
fresh
qualifiers?
blood in there that deserves to be there. Right?
Yeah, like let's use
I
FaZe
don't
as an
want-
example.
Well,
Let's say
just use
FaZe doesn't
Because we've
qualify.
seen what happens when you get people that don't deserve to be there going to PGI.
Let's use
Yeah, Team
PGI
Gates.
North America as an example of chaos.
Yeah, Team Gates.
I mean, like those guys, they know I love them. Like I like them as all as players, but they lucked their way into PGI. Just that with the way that the circles played out for that game, and the fact that they took advantage of other teams underperforming, and then you saw what happened. You saw like WSOE, they were last, PGI last. It was just nonstop last performances after that. So I just don't want to see that happen for the pro league. I would hope that the pro league would get their shit together and have it to where it's a long enough qualification process if they're going to do the qualifier process that the people that actually get to the league, there's no question that they deserve to be there.
Yeah, I agree.
And they have the mental resiliency, because that's going to be the big problem that I think a lot of players are not used to, is playing a long form league like this. Like, let's say it's a LAN and everything else like that. Let's just take a wild stab in the dark and say 5-6 weeks, 5 to 6 weeks
Yep.
of playing repetitive games over and over and over, the same game, being in a localized area, being all right next to each other, being with your teammates. That's a really different environment, and it's very mentally taxing. A lot more than people think. It's like, oh, you're just going to go play games, but no, it's essentially go live with 4 people and only ever talk about PUBG, and your whole livelihood depends on if you're good at this game or not. It adds in a whole bunch of stress and a lot of outside modifiers that come into play, because a lot of times a lot of players are, this could be like their first time foraying out of their parents' house. No digs
Y'all
on
stop
gamers or anything.
stop adding
Yeah, that was me.
Mortify in chat, dude. I said I love all those guys as individual players, but the way it played out, you can't argue with how the results were. I mean, it's just how it is.
Let's be honest, as a North American fan and somebody that
They
predominantly casts North America, it hurt to watch Berlin.
But it was, look, the reason that Gates, and I'll stand by this to my deathbed, the reason that Gates performed so poorly at PGI was because their play style did not suit that game. They did not play a play style that was going to succeed in an 8-game short format type of tournament. It just wasn't. Like they are more passive placement oriented, and you're not going to score well in a game that, in a short format game like that. You need to have a team that can go out and just rack up a shit ton of kills like OMG did. That's the only way you're going to win.
Yeah.
You know. So
Yeah.
I mean, Gates. It sucks that things didn't work out for him, but I think all his players deserve to be on other teams, because I think that they do have that LAN experience. They have probably the biggest LAN experience that we have, and hopefully they can find other people that they work with. But like McCoy was saying, or Pat was saying, PUBG is so much more than just being able to frag, right? You have to be able to fit in with a team.
And look, Por, you're supposed to be the fun, like, let's talk Disney princesses guy. Why are you taking us down this dark path here?
I'm sorry, I didn't mean it.
The
Well,
truth.
like, okay, so, and this is kind of something I wanted to talk to Pat with. Like, you like you said, you're a free agent right now, trying out for different teams. How important, like, can you? How many games does it take before you? And I guess McCoy can answer this too, since you've had a bunch of people. How many games does it take before you realize, either this works, this is really clicking, or this isn't for me? Do you know in like one game if you just don't fit with a team?
I think it depends on you're playing.
You could tell that if someone's not going to fit in the team, like if they have like a really shitty attitude, or they're just like they don't mesh well with the team. I think it's easier for you to tell someone isn't right for your team than it is to tell if they are right for your team.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
Because like you need a lot of time to try someone out in full, because maybe like say like the IGL doesn't get a lot of sleep one night and they aren't like up to par, they're like not doing well, and then the whole team struggles because of that. That's not a good tryout. Or like
that's the day-to-day difference.
Or you just get like every circle in one scrim day. Like you can't tell if that's a good tryout. So it's like it takes a long time for you to actually tell if someone will fit with your team.
And that's really important right now, because one of the things that's been pissing me off on Twitter, I even tweeted about it earlier, was the fact that everybody's just like, oh, when do we get the new rosters? We need the new roster announcements. And oh, look who's playing in GLL. This has to be the confirmed roster. The rosters that are being made right now are going to be playing through several online leagues, because we essentially know that PUBG offline or whatever is probably going to be some type of long form thing. Yeah, we don't. We were supposed to get more news today, but all we saw was the fact that they did point system. I'm looking at you, Myra. If you catch this, where's our information at, man? All right, so we've got PUBG Online.
October 22nd, did they?
We got
October 22nd is the start date.
They leaked it. Yeah,
they've leaked it.
I just didn't see a tweet.
They leaked it, or they
Mustache Dave, from friend of the show, Mustache Dave and Esquire, and their show, The Feast. They managed to get the leak of the PUBG Online start date, which I feel like some of us probably had just realized that we weren't supposed to leak it. But yeah, he leaked it. He leaked it, so we see October 22nd for PUBG.
Can we get the leak of who made that point system graphic? Because
oh man, they've been getting so much trash.
Oh man, that was ugly.
Woo.
I remember when Split 1 started again, and they had the 2017 graphics up still.
Holy shit, dude! I was casting that day. I was casting that first round, and I have never been so fucking triggered. Like, I was watching the chat go by, and everybody was just like, "Oh, 2017, lol." I'm just like, we're fucking playing the games. Like, can you not like
And-
just enjoy this?
And
for
this
the time?
conversation right here, Poro,
But I
is
get it. I get it.
why we're, even though we're the two closest casters to Houston, why we won't be casting it, because they're going to go back and be like, look at them talking trash about PUBG Online.
Look,
they know.
it was
They know we will. But
it was an honest mistake. It's fine.
Who's
I like-
casting PUBG? Do we know? No?
Who knows?
ask Mustache Dave.
Dude,
I would assume the
that's-
normal
Is
people.
is Fuzzy Seal making a comeback?
Whoa,
dude, I'm
dude.
a
Could be
seal.
the
We'll
triumphant
see.
return of Pugsy Seal.
All right.
It's been a while.
So
Yeah,
anyway,
it's fine.
the point I was going down before we tangent. By the way, I'm forewarning everybody the way that this podcast is going to go. We're going to tangent like a motherfucker. It's going to happen a
happening.
lot.
Yeah. Buckle
so
up, Buttercup.
Is okay. We've got these online leagues. Let's be honest. There's probably a couple of lands that are going to be sprinkled along the way that we're going through here, and then we're also going to
Holy
have
shit.
the whole
Pixel.
what's Pixel coming into?
Oh, Venerated talking about Bixel making the caster comeback. Hey, we're
I didn't
gonna
know
get Bixel. We're gonna get Godspeed.
Dude, get Doctor
Uh,
Respect on there. There you go.
You never cast for us before. Fuck him.
Oh, ooh.
But anyway, so
Monka
we got,
TOS.
most of these contracts are going to be a year long. I'm going to get done with my point, damn it. That's the way it's going to work. All right. Most of these contracts are going to be for a year. So this like any of these contracts, any of these signings, any of these teams are going to be ridiculously important as they go through, because it's going to be telling for essentially the setting of the scene of the official PUBG scene. Because sure, we've had a lot of these third party stuff, but let's be honest, like the official start is supposed to be happening soon. And chat's just going crazy about, like, apparently they finally.
No, I'm remembering something. I'm remembering something that barely a caster jabroni brought up, and I don't want to talk about it.
No,
I don't want to
bring
talk
it up.
about it because
Bring
it's
it up.
toxic.
Bring it up. Bring it up.
It's kind of toxic.
Why is let's just do it.
When we had STDX Lunatic on, and there was like fucking baby diapers on the couch behind him. Yeah,
Yeah, that was the thing. That was
I don't
the thing.
remember
that
that.
I
happened.
don't remember that either.
Was that like early seasons or?
Yeah, that was.
I think that was before my time.
That was a thing,
I forgot about that
because
shit.
there was a
Holy
cast
fuck.
going on, and they would like, because I remember there was the baby crying, and there was a.
Oh my god, that was fucking funny. Anyway, no, so okay, all right. Where we
Like,
yes,
he got
he
arrested or
did get
something?
arrested. If you guys didn't hear that,
he might have
He
got
got arrested.
Yikes!
What did he get
might have got
arrested for?
Yeah, I'll chat.
I
You
don't
guys,
know.
you guys
Can't
can
remember.
handle that.
Chat will
one.
let us know.
Yeah,
Chat
check.
will let us know.
That was. Let's just.
All right, so okay, I want to
Toss that one
ask a
aside.
question.
All right.
All right, so let's. I want to ask a question to
Ronan?
to McCoy. All right.
Yep.
First of all, the two-parter.
Yep. Okay.
First of all, how does it feel being the highest earning North American player? In
You know,
PUBG?
it feels pretty good because that means I can ego everyone, you know, because a big ego McCoy right here.
It's true. It's true. So how in part 1A, what are you planning on doing with all your money? Are you just saving? Are you gonna go
What do
on
you
a
mean, dude?
Disney
I gotta
vacation?
spend-
You're gonna
I gotta spend it on the hot bitches on Tinder.
Yeah, he's
Hot
going to the
bitches on
strip
Tinder.
club.
Yeah, dude.
the Bugatti.
Yeah,
See,
dude.
I know that's fucking bullshit because
I can't even drive.
I
it,
know that that's bullshit because I know that you prefer at LAN. Let's ask this. I'm
Let's
interested
hear
in this. Okay,
Yep.
LAN routine. What is your LAN routine? All right, you've been to a shit ton of them now.
Yep.
Pat, you've been to what, one?
It's okay. We
One.
still love you, Pat.
One?
So far. You're more to come. More to come.
Hey, for the record,
But
I
you're
did buy
this,
a Thanos Infinity Golem.
you did.
Okay.
That's where your money's going.
Money well
Yeah,
spent. That's a
It was
great
$100.
investment.
That's not
not that much.
$100 for a Thanos
Yeah, dude.
Infinity Gauntlet?
Yeah, dude, I can snap my finger and half the PUBG players go away.
Or at least half of Ghost.
There you go.
I think you already did it.
God damn. That was actually really
pretty
well
good, yeah.
done. Okay.
You're welcome.
But okay, so LAN routine, McCoy. All right. So
Yep.
you've been to a shit ton of them. Teach Pat here. For especially for overseas, right?
Yep.
What is your LAN routine? Like from the second, okay, so from takeoff, like you're getting in the Uber heading there. What is McCoy's LAN routine?
So like the Uber in like from NA to the airport.
Yeah.
Okay, so you put in the headphones, Sabaton, max volume,
Mm-hmm.
Then you get to the airport and Jabroni says some stuff too, and you just look at him because you don't know what he's saying because you have headphones in.
You just nod.
Just
Yeah,
stare
you
at
just
him.
nod.
Yeah.
And then he gives you your plane ticket eventually,
All right.
and then you go put your bag on, Then you go sit around, dick around in the airport for like a couple hours. Then you get on your flight. and you sleep the whole 10-hour flight.
Now,
Then you wake up.
how do you sleep the whole time? Do you
You
like?
got Sabaton in, full max volume
Okay.
going. You're pretty good to
Okay.
go. And
Pop some
then so
melatonins.
not only do that, I just fall asleep the whole 10 hours.
You're fucking lucky, man.
Dude, then I sleep the whole 10 hours, wake up, you get on your connector flight, sleep through that, wake up, go to your hotel, then go to sleep again. And then you wake up and it's the next day. You do all your stupid media shit. Then they want you to scrim, because land scrims with Megalol. And then you go back to the hotel. And you go back to sleep. And then you wake up the next day, it's game day, it's like you just woke up, it's like 1, so you slept for like 13 hours. You play, you don't talk to anyone.
Oh, you talk to people.
Okay, I troll people sometimes.
I know for a fact. You're
then-
a loud boy.
And then you play. And then you either do good or bad, and then you go back to the hotel and sleep. And you just do that.
You're the
So you
worst
sleep.
fucking person on earth
I
for
got
giving
it.
advice.
I know.
Because
It's like my
I
LAN
can't
routine
fucking
is sleep.
Dude, I was sleeping like 14 hours a day at Starladder.
I can't sleep that much, dude. I can't sleep that much. Land
Oh yeah,
screams.
and then you really loud
Oh,
before
yeah.
every game.
See,
Yeah.
that's what I was
Yeah, there you
talking
go.
about.
There
Moody,
you go.
thank you for pointing out the ringing. That's important.
That's
Yeah,
what I was
it's all in
talking
chat.
about.
I forgot about it.
So okay, so on the topic of land psychological warfare, I feel like God Squad might have been part of that at PGI quals.
What do you mean?
Were y'all not one of the screamers going in the airplane? Was that
No.
not y'all?
I
So,
don't
it was
think so.
somebody on that
Well-
side. It was somebody on that side of the arena.
I don't think it was us. The only time we really made noise was when we won that military base game. Drassel was just classic Drassel and screamed.
Is there
But
a
I don't
nicer
think-
guy in PUBG than Drassel?
Gotta love Drassel.
That guy's a sweetheart.
I don't
But-
think we the most.
It wasn't y'all.
I don't think so.
Oh, apparently it was Team Gates according to the
Yeah.
Twitch chat.
Those Gates.
Yep.
Is
Yeah.
Nova Landoon
Nova.
says Moody.
Oh yeah, I
Oh,
can see it.
I remember.
I can see Lou
Drassel,
dominate.
you have my permission to pull the stream up on your stream. Perfectly.
I think our highlight of
the
PGI
amount
was
of bucks that we give is very small.
during scrims. Everyone went to Pachinki, sorry, and we all 4 of us sat in a shed with like a shotgun.
Oh yeah,
And I just sprinted up against the wall the whole time, so people were like, wait, what's that noise? And they'd go into the shed and they would just insta die.
You guys were all naked sitting in there.
Land scrims. What's the best thing that you've ever done at a land scrim, McCoy?
A land scrim?
Trolliest
Sleep.
thing.
He's probably that's
Dude,
probably
I-
what he's done is sleep.
Dude, I attempt to play the games, and then there's like 20 people left before first circling pops, and you're like, oh,
I just remember
I'm just
I
happy to-
remember walking in at Starladder, and there was I don't know if it was a scrim or if it was just like a test or whatever the fuck they were doing, but I remember walking in, and all of a sudden I'm walking past Tempo, and I see Malouk throw his headset down and get up and scream over at fucking Jempty or Sampty. He's like, Sambo, why you always dying? Sambo, why you dead? I'm just I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, yo, that's fucking FaZe Clan, dog. You gonna talk shit to what historically has been one of the best teams in the world? That's ballsy. But
dude,
hey,
whenever he killed Sampty, Valiant, or those 2, he would scream at them across the room. He'd be like, get shit on, Valiant.
It just makes me happy to know that the whole time the casters are like, why are we here doing rehearsal day whenever nothing happens and we're all just kind of sitting around? It's like, I don't know if the caster.
oh, there's
relationship,
always shit going on.
But there's we just sit there for 8 hours. It's glad to know that while you guys are doing the scrims, you guys are there the whole time. I was like, why the fuck are we here as well? So it's just a unifying thing for the PUBG community that we can all just stare at each other awkwardly and be like, we could just be at home asleep where McCoy is at.
Could be sleeping like McCoy.
Yeah,
Do
dude.
you, are you pro neck pillow on the
I
airplane?
fuck the neck pillow.
You don't fuck with the neck
Yeah,
pillow?
I
Nah,
don't
fuck
neck
that.
pillow.
Dude, I
Really?
tried it out. I spent $40 on a neck pillow. I used it one time. I was like, this shit's shit.
It doesn't
This
work.
shit's-
It's the biggest ripoff. You get one and it's
Yeah,
just
it
you're still sitting there like this the whole time.
Yeah.
Bro,
I
I had some lady's fucking head in my lap on the flight to Kiev. That was the weirdest experience I've ever had.
No.
And
On
not,
my
like,
the-
not like the
por-
good, not the
Porno
good
in the
lap.
Mile High Club.
Not the good head in your lap either. It was just fucking hair, just hair.
Oh yeah. Yep.
No. On this last
sure.
flight that
So
that I
awkward.
took coming back from California, this lady, I swear to God, it looks like she hadn't bathed in 40 million years.
Yikes.
is sitting right next to me. She like decides that she wants to lay down, so she tries to lay down inside the seat, like sideways, and then kicks off her shoes and then takes off of her socks and then puts them up on the armrest. And so she's like in this bundle where
Oh
her
my
head
God.
is like facing down and her feet are sticking up in the air, and it smells like fucking death. And like me and the guy that's like, because there's like me and she was like right in the middle, and we were just like
Bro, I'll
like,
never
about every
understand
5
people
minutes
that
there's
take off their shoes on an
what type of
airplane.
human
Fuck that.
beings
Yeah,
you have to be to take off your
that's-
shoes and socks on an
It's
airplane?
like bringing an egg salad sandwich on an airplane.
Yeah, Balak took off his shoes, and I just looked at him, and he was like, he just smiled at me. I was like, "You dickhead."
Of course he did. Of course he fucking did.
Wait, who is it? There's also a player that talks. Is it Hypoc that always talks about the fact that he takes off his shoes on airplanes?
I take off my shoes whenever I play.
Okay, and
I think I
What's
took my shoes
the-
off at Burbank too.
is there a story behind the red shorts?
The red
Boy.
shorts?
Yeah,
What do you mean, dude? What's wrong with the gym shorts?
they're fucking terrible. First of all,
What do you mean,
No,
dude?
I
They
like
look
the fact that they're
they
amazingly
also-
comfortable.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
they better
Alright,
fucking
shorts
be. It looks
too.
like he's
Dude,
had them
I'm
for like
hard to.
27 years.
Let's be
Dude,
honest.
I've had them since middle school.
Nice.
Since middle school.
That's how you do it,
Yeah.
dude.
Good God, the fucking red.
I
shorts.
don't get how people play like lands in jeans. It's like,
Yeah, fuck that shit.
why are you not like wearing
since
shorts
fifth
or
grade.
sweats? Like,
It
you
is
gotta be
Hypoc.
comfortable.
Look, he just popped in chat and was like, "I don't do shoes on airplanes." He
Fucking
is.
weird. Must be a
So-
Euro thing. European bacon.
Dude, think about it. If I
and
didn't wear the
shoes
red
off an
shorts,
airplane.
no one would talk about it.
It's true.
has you
Is that,
baited.
the, is,
Talking
that,
point.
is that the fanny pack decision
dude.
too?
Yeah, dude. It's
You
right
got
here.
the fanny pack there? All right,
Yeah.
so like
Wasn't there
Did
some
you-
wasn't there I think I saw some video about so I can't remember what game it was, but some esports player, he plays in boxers. Like
yeah, they did
Sorry
a
about
thing
that,
on
guys.
Dota about that.
Was
Oh,
it
yeah.
Dota?
Yeah, I remember
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. The Toffees was showing it to us. It was like this or it was I don't know if it's Toffees or Toby, but they did it right before TI too. They had like he was known for playing. He played in a major in his fucking boxers. So they
Yeah.
went back and they did a video on him where he's like trying to get more comfortable with
Yeah.
his new team. So he's fucking doing it like completely pantsless.
Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Half of you guys have like avatars that are running around in their underwear anyway, so might as well just full on embrace it and just
True.
play in your underwear too.
You have a point. You have a point.
It's McCoy. It's I like if there was anybody I would think would do a fucking land pantsless, it would be McCoy.
Yeah, dude. Why not?
I mean, I don't know. Like
Maybe that'll be the
you'd
next
my
level.
first chance.
Oh, Pat
Maybe
Caps,
like
this is your chance. This is your call to fame. Next land, will
All
you
right.
go pantsless?
Pantsless?
IRL, like at the actual thing.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah,
Sure, yeah.
bring it.
Gotta commit.
Or
Yeah.
shirtless. Just
That
No,
shirtless.
shirtless
no,
is
no.
weird. That's weird.
No, that's
That's
kind
weird?
of weird. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay, pantsless is fine, but shirtless is
Dude,
okay.
let's be
Yeah.
honest. Like
I understand where I'm
right,
getting.
right now, we could all be pantsless, and these people wouldn't know, and that's fine. But whenever you take off the shirt, it's all of a sudden like you do the pan over, and it's just like you watch
Yeah,
somebody
that's when you
winning, and you
know-
can imagine like somebody jumping up and down, and like
That's when you know shit got real.
Yeah.
All right, so okay. So what do we have? So we got coming up next, we have Ghost. You're confirmed for PGL, right?
Yep.
So we're going to Bucharest. I'm gonna be a little toxic here, and
Ooh.
it probably doesn't. This isn't me again. So the winner of the tournament, fourth confirmed invite. Did we get it?
hell yeah.
Fuck yeah, that's
Hey,
my
good job,
boy.
Look,
man.
look at that aim. Look at
This
that.
is Pat
Pat
Cap.
hacks, baby.
Pat-
Pat hacks.
Pat
Yeah,
hacks.
yeah, dude.
Pat hacks.
Pat hacks. the
That real
sniper.
life aim lock.
All right, so winner of the tournament, the last PGL, fourth invited. That's got to feel a little bit irritating. But how do you? So last PGL was your first time playing with Balak and Turtle, right?
Yeah. Yep.
And this time you're going in with another new roster. Where are the confidence levels sitting right now going into PGL?
Well, dude, think about it. We got 14th at our last land. That means we at least have to get 13th. And you got teams like Secret and like some Australian team going and like 2 other random like teams. So we're at least guaranteed top 12.
All right.
Yeah, okay. But that being said, all right, you've been playing against the Asian teams recently. They've fucking gotten better, dude. They've gotten a lot fucking better.
Oh, wait,
Yeah.
you're telling me that the Korean and Chinese teams get better because they use coaches and all these other things? It's almost like this
Wow,
whole
dude.
thing
They
every
only have, like,
caster
50
was
in
telling
Alice.
you about for forever was just like,
Bro,
oh
they-
my god,
they went out.
Asia invests money and actually like builds infrastructure. Maybe you guys should practice or get coaches. Who would have thought?
Jesus. They how many coaches or how many staff do you think that Team 17 had at that tournament at Starladder?
A lot. I don't know. OMG had like 16 at like PGI. It was dumb.
16.
Dude, Jabroni told me that like the coaches room was like they had changed the language of the stream to Korean because there's just so many of them in there.
At that point, it was no point in having the
Yeah,
English stream.
it's like they have an individual coach for each player, and then they have like a fitness guy and like some like mental guy there, and then they have like an overall coach, and then like analyst for each player or some shit, and then a head analyst. It's fucking dumb.
I
But-
mean, like, there's so
Or it's
much
not dumb,
more.
but it's like yeah, it just looks dumb.
There's so much more exposure in the Eastern like leagues. Like they have
Yeah.
way more viewership, so they like can spend that money compared to
Yeah,
NA.
and it's just accepted there.
Yeah.
Like in NA, if
Far
you go
more.
around saying I'm a pro player for video games, everyone's like, "You're a fucking nerd." Go home.
Yeah, how do you think it feels to fucking tell your parents that you're a caster and you're
Dude, in
almost
Japan, you're like,
40?
I'm a pro player. You have fucking 50 girls coming home with you.
Yeah, right. You saw those Liquid fans at whatever
dude.
LAN that was?
Holy
Dude,
shit, dude! Liquid
Dude,
has
at
so many fans.
PGI when OMG won, their bus was really blocked by people trying to talk to them.
That's nuts. Let's
That
just
doesn't
move
happen
over
at
there.
Ghost? You don't have Ghost blocking in or fans blocking in the
Yeah, dude, we got all
the
the
mansion.
popular.
Yeah.
your
Yeah, dude.
your
Yeah.
hybrid Uber that you have to
No,
take the
we
airport?
had the phase people coming up asking if we were phase. That's what we had.
Well, okay, going back to my original, and this could be the last real question because I know we're kind of dragging on a little bit now, but so after the last few tournaments, playing against Asian teams, Chinese, Korean specifically, where do you think NA has to worry at this point
Yeah.
about our standing?
I mean,
Yeah.
so they had to worry, but now since this 3NA rule thing just happened, now they don't have to worry as much for like at least their jobs, I guess. Because it would have turned into like Overwatch and League, where they're just going to start like, oh, good Chinese player, come on, you don't really need to speak English, you just need to shoot people and like run around, you'll carry your NA team. So like they're fine about that, but like especially now with the like 3 region thing, and then all like the 16-year-olds that can't play, it's like
All
there's gonna be,
four of
like,
them.
it's like. So yeah, all 4 of them, but they were like all on like each like one team, and it's like they were like the core player on that team. So now it's like we're gonna go to like international lands in 2019 or like the World Championship, and then it's gonna be like, oh,
As somebody
tell
that
you
comes
what,
from
dude,
League,
that-
I'm gonna say it's terrifying, and I pray that we don't end up with a similar thing where it's just like every year it's just like this is gonna be the year that North America does great at LAN, and then
and then they get
First out at the qualifiers.
bam
Yeah.
every
Yeah.
single time. So
I mean, we're just going to turn into the next, fucking South America, where we dominate our games, or we have teams that dominate the lobbies of South American teams, and they go and play in international tournament and get absolutely shit on. And I worry that that's what's going to happen to NA. Is that we're going to have this NA Pro League, and we're going to be going, and we're going to see like, holy shit, like fucking Ghost is dominating, Optics dominating. These new rosters look insane, and then we get them in international play, and it's just like fucking
dick.
shit the
Yeah.
bed.
well, I mean,
Like I like, what do we do as a scene, really, as a North American scene?
So I don't think it's like, so obviously as a scene, I think obviously take things more serious, and like look at it as a job, not I'm playing video games.
Yeah.
Like the whole stupid I don't want to play 6 games, blah 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 conversation. It's fucking 5 hours of your day. Most people go to sit behind a shitty desk for 9 to 5. It's like you can fucking play at your desk and play video games. But like, so like the scene obviously be more serious, but then it's like once it gets more accepted in like society, where like you can be like, yeah, I'm a pro player, and like you don't feel shit about it, because like if you go to some random person, they're just gonna harass you and be like, either say that that's fucking cool or you're a fucking nerd, and you're like, oh cool. And
Yeah.
then so like once it gets more accepted, and then we start getting the resources like they used to have, or getting paid more, or like 15 coaches and analysts and stuff, and all the nutritionists and all that stuff, then we'll start like performing more.
wait,
But right now it's just like,
do we seriously have the highest paid PUBG player sitting there saying the fact that needs to be paid more? How greedy
No,
are you
I-
at this
I-
point?
I
Like, how
earn
much
my-
money do you
I-
need, man?
I'm the highest earning player,
Highest
Oh,
earning.
yeah, highest
Yeah.
earning. That's true. Highest
Yeah,
earning.
It's a difference.
Sorry, phrasing. So
but like think about it. So I think I heard that like average pay for like in Asia it's like 8 to 10,000, like transferred or whatever. So like if they're paying each player 8 to 10,000, they're probably paying like the analysts and coaches like 15, like a little bit more. So it's like if they're paying all those, they're definitely making their money back, because those players are an investment, because they're paying them 5-6 times more than us right now, and they're paying coaches and stuff way more, and they have like 15 of them.
Well, it comes
Yeah.
down to sponsorships and sponsorship and behaviors there. Like as a prime example, we're just now starting to see like larger, I guess, non-endemic companies come in and putting a lot of money into sponsorships into teams. And so like what recently we've heard like Dr. Pepper moving in. We've got what is it? Is it Tostinos and DiGiorno that have been
Totino.
dancing around the outside of it?
The pizza roll nights.
DiGiorno just had that big thing. So the more we start having like big sponsors come in, that means that players can actually start getting paid more and actually start being paid stable, and we'll start having more infrastructure. Like being an unsigned player, what's that like for you, Pat? Like looking at all this and trying to like naturally we're sitting here talking about getting paid more. Gosh, I've only had coaches, and meanwhile Pat's over here like, you guys make money?
Yeah, there's not much like entry into the scene right now. Like that's one of the reasons why God Squad disbanded, because it seemed like it wasn't gonna happen. Like teams like big orgs weren't gonna come in because like it just wasn't there.
Yeah.
So hopefully like there's more viewership and stuff like that, and more orgs get in, and hopefully that just like helps everyone get paid. But I don't know.
Hey, just letting you know, Pat. If you want to try out for Hooligans, #1 unsigned team, Shrimsy just sent you an invite. So,
goddamn.
So we're opening doors for you here, man. That's what we're doing.
I want to take that offer.
Hoggers.
I know. I'm just gonna say, hey, Poro, if you didn't realize this, we actually had a really good track record on our podcast that we used to do way back in the day. Very regularly, people would come and do the podcast and then be signed very quickly afterwards. So,
That's true. That is true.
So,
and up until Starladder, I had a streak going of every lane I attended a North American team won.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah. Unfortunately, didn't work out. Didn't work out so much.
How many North American actual lands have there been?
Or
like
North American
in
lands?
NA?
Like legit lands, not like online lands.
Right.
I think like 2, 3.
Where there was an actual server that they brought?
None.
None, right?
None.
None. Yeah.
It's kind of ridiculous.
Yeah, well, that's kind of one of the things that is a running conversation. Is if you look at it right now, most of the scene has like I don't want to say has an EU bias just for viewership. It's also like most of the event organizations are running out of there. Most of the lands have been occurring out of there, which is fine. Naturally, that's kind of the nature of the beast in esports. A lot of the times the EU scene does gravitate toward doing this stuff much earlier than North America does, but it's also been kind of an awkward situation for a lot of the North American players because, like you're talking about, it's kind of hard to find times to scrim. Even right now, trying to do Face It on North America, you can't. You got to play off of EU times. So it means like the whole thing is trying to be, I don't know, it kind of forces everything to have like a little bit of an EU flavor to it. Not to mention the EU players also did a great job on mobilizing and really kind of working together very early inside the scene.
Really good at that.
So look,
and that's something that NA kind of lacked.
What happened?
A unified voice.
What happened to Porosaurus _NA? Now turning into Porosaurus _EU
Look,
over
hey,
here,
man.
Whoa, dude.
Look, I am
American Eagles over there.
I am North America's biggest fucking fanboy, and I always will be. But you know, I also realize and accept the fact that we have some stepping up to do as a scene, and if we want to be competitive in the international arena and not just circle jerk on how great we all are when we play other NA teams, there's going to have to be some changes that get made, and whether those changes get made before or after the first or next PGI or whatever it is remains to be seen. But hopefully everybody gets a kind of a fire lit under their ass and wants to kind of keep their jobs as far as like being professional players in this young esport. So we'll see though. I have great hope.
We're at step one right now. Step one is let's start building some, like, for lack of a better term, God squads. Let's start building some very strong teams, because right now North America's play. I think we can all agree that North American talent has been very dispersed across a lot of different teams, and let's hope that with all this roster royale craziness, we're actually going to start seeing, I don't know, some real power teams come through, because I will say that Asia, Europe, they did a lot better of like unifying players much quicker than we did. Like,
for sure. We're getting better. We're getting better with this consolidation thing. And
well, I think like why EU and Asia does it better is like just like the upbringing, I guess. Because like in NA, there's like a lot more like anger issues, or like people don't know how to talk to each other correctly, or like just be nice to each other, And like EU, you're sort of like raised to be like nice, and like in Asia, they like hit you with a ruller and stuff over there.
I think EU people are more toxic than NA people.
Well, they're toxic.
I mean,
we have
like other
McCoy.
people.
Are you sure?
But like to your like, hey, shut up. Hey, to your but like to your like teammates and stuff, it's like you shouldn't like scream at like your teammates or like if you think someone made a bad play, be like, hey, I think you could do this differently. Maybe we can look at the VOD and we can talk about it instead of just be like, you're fucking dumb. Why the fuck did you make that play? You know?
It's
Yeah, that's true.
it's just that
And then leave
mindset
just
of it's a mindset of when shit goes wrong, blaming yourself versus blaming other people or the game or
Yeah.
other teams
Or
or
realize it's
whatever.
PUBG.
Other teams is the biggest.
This is the
Yeah.
big thing that I've noticed in PUBG. A lot of people tend to assume that the play that they made that got them killed was wrong, just because in one situation it was wrong. There's
Yeah.
many times that the play would work perfectly fine, but there was just somebody hiding behind a
They're back.
bush that's not normally going to be there. That's perfectly fine. I kept going back and say. By the way, my
Yeah.
dog is like busted in just a second ago. So if you see me like
Hell yeah,
petting off
dude.
the side, my dog
Let's say
Tyrion's
pupper.
chilling over there. Tyrion, you want to come up here? I don't know. Can he?
But no, I mean, I think you're right
He's
though.
not
I
gonna
mean,
come over here.
I think it's definitely like just that mindset of, you know, how can I improve myself versus like, oh, fucking everybody else is ruining my fucking scrim experience.
yeah.
Like,
Because
you know,
what's the most thing people say when they die? What the fuck is that team doing? Why would they push us?
yeah,
You know, it's
like,
like they push you because they knew they could win the fight.
and you never know when that's gonna. I mean, like, look, we were talking about it at Starladder. There was that time that y'all were rotating south around blue on Miramar, and all of a sudden, the whole fucking 4-man squad of Gen G is sitting there in the
They're
blue
setting the
waiting to
blue for
wipe
no
Malik.
reason. You know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
like that shit is going to happen at LAN. Like any type of bull, or you're getting all of a sudden pushed. You know, you get one knock, or one of your guys gets knocked. All of a sudden, an entire fucking Korean squad
Yeah,
is
like
running
MVP
up
when they
on you.
crashed us at the gas station. They got one
Yeah.
knock and just sent it at us.
Like stupid shit that you think is stupid is going to happen on land
Yeah.
because the stupid shit that you think is stupid, that's fucking stuff that they've been training on. You
Yeah.
know, like or it's somebody like Divine who doesn't fucking know any better. Like they're just gonna push everything. So like you got to be prepared for that stuff if you're going to be prepared for everything. Not every game is going to be picture perfect, you know, the way you planned it out in your head. And that's one of the things that I wish people would do a little bit more on scrims. And I was talking to Moody about this earlier. I was like, you know, instead of trying to play the game out and practice with everything being perfect, I feel like you should almost practice with everything not being perfect. Put yourself into shitty positions and see if you can work your way out of it. Because that's the position that you're going to be in the most, right? In games, like not all the time are you going to get circle, you know, compound fully looted and you're going to be just feeling great about things. Like most of the time you're going to be having to fight from a shitty position and try to survive and get in. So I mean, I almost think that having people do this fuck up shit in scrims or practice or whatever is almost better.
Yeah,
Preach
no, I
it,
agree.
Papa Poro. Preach it. You can tell the passion in that one. Yeah,
I'm
welcome back.
gonna disagree with that. I'm gonna
That's
say
fine.
every scrim you should play to win that game, no matter what. And I think
can
if
agree with that.
everyone is playing that way, you're gonna get a much more like realistic game for like a LAN. And I think a lot of teams in NA, at least, like you could say they don't take it seriously or whatever, but I feel like a lot of teams in NA don't play on LANs how they actually play in scrims. And I think that's a huge thing.
I-
Practice
They only
the
play
way you
online
play
the
and
same.
play the way you practice.
I think that
Yeah.
I think that there's a balance between the two. Like you need to be practicing new strategies. If it's a legitimate strategy that you need to practice on a high level, I can see tanking. Always playing to win though is problematic because if you're always playing to win, you're not trying new styles. The whole premise of scrimming is to practice and to learn new things. So if you're practicing to win but still practicing new things, good. Whenever you're trying new things that are just like I'm just gonna stand in this bush and see how long I can survive, or stupid shit that we hear about that does happen in scrims.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
dumb. But
I mean, I
if you're
do
always
buy
just
into what
playing
Pat's
in
saying,
the
though.
exact same format that you've been playing in, one, your team grows stale, and two, the meta grows stale because if everybody does, because we had that happen in PUBG. Gosh, what was it like? August, September, sometime around that time last year. Like we had kind of a base meta started, and then there was that whole thing where it's like, oh, if you have one person die, then this is your percent chance of winning the game or whatever, that Twitter stat that was going around everywhere. And then everybody just stopped taking any type of fight, and people were like hiding in shacks and doing everything else like that until they
Sending
realized
at the
water.
water for a
Yeah,
circle.
water.
Yeah.
and then they finally
Yeah.
realized, no, wait, at some points we actually do need to go aggressive and it's worth the risk. But we had like 2 months meta where people did fuck all nothing. And so
Yeah.
sometimes you just have to you have to take some risk and you have to try to change the meta a little bit to see if something works. So
Well,
I kind of in the middle ground between both of you.
yeah, well, there's definitely times when you need to make that play to win the game. And there are a lot of times when people like that's what I noticed a lot about the Eastern teams. A lot of times they'll like, well, actually, I think it was was it OGN? They were in first place going into the last game.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
they just threw it because
Yeah.
it seemed to me like they tried to make a play to win that game when they actually just needed to make a play to just survive.
Yeah.
But I think
Yeah.
the earlier games they make those risky plays where if it works, then they win the game. If it doesn't, they get like 15th.
Yeah, Gen G did a lot too in like the qualifiers. They just
Yeah.
crashed first zone and then
And I
Kill
think
your
that
team.
a lot of times people they play just to survive the next circle when there's times when you need to play to survive to just win the game. Like you make this play, you win the game. You don't make the play, you get last place.
But
Yeah.
like I know McCoy, you and I have talked about it before, and you've had an issue with, in practice, you get first circle closes and there's, how many people already dead.
like 45 people.
Yeah.
Something like
Yeah,
that. Yeah.
whereas at LAN, that's
There's 60 people
60.
alive until
Yeah.
fourth. Yeah.
It's
yeah. So it's like, how do you?
27 alive fourth circle in scrims. 64
it's taking,
alive
it's
fourth
taking-
circle in real games.
It's taking like an educated like if you want to push someone, okay, do it like in a way you would do it like in a normal game. Don't just be like,
Yeah.
oh, I see them. Let me just hold W across the wheat field. That we died. Let's go watch YouTube, guys. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Well, hey,
Yeah.
this might be the benefit. Maybe this is the thing that we've been needing because a lot of people don't want to risk their face it standings, but maybe, just maybe, a rank system inside of PUBG, if it works at all, and at least has like, I don't know, more professionally minded players start rising to the top, you can start playing matchmaking modes to actually start testing the crazier strategies and then using scrims to perfect those strategies. Because I
Yeah.
think that's the big problem right now is there's no way to, if you have a wild idea like saying we want to try sending everybody to the four corners of the map and dropping and then having them converge in, and I know it would never work. I'm just throwing it out there as a stupid ass idea
Or
that
would
you
it?
would want to try. Who knows?
never know.
We'll have to find out if you give it a try.
No
but-
meta.
This is how Ghost is going
That's
to
the
win.
new meta.
There
we go.
That's how Ghost is going to win PGL, right?
Well, I
Four
mean,
corners?
if you're a good enough shot, right? Just drop people in four different corners and then just
Just
walk
get-
towards each other and everybody's dead.
Yeah,
just
then
get,
you got
just
60
get four
kills.
nutters. Four
Yeah,
nutters
so-
who can 1v4.
There
Yeah,
you go.
dude.
There you go.
Yeah.
First place every time.
Then they don't have to mesh all with each other because they never need to talk to each other.
Perfect.
They just mute and drop.
No comms, just
Yeah.
deafen the whole time.
Yep.
All right. So
Venerated bringing
okay.
it back with the old school strats that Machine Gunner's team used to do. Hey, did you
Oh,
guys hear
dear.
about the fact that whenever they announced PUBG Online coming back, that Gunner was like, "Oh, maybe we should bring back Trigger Happy."
Dude, I
Obvious.
think they should bring back Trigger Happy.
There's no reason
All
for them
day.
not to.
Yeah, fuck yeah, do it.
PUBG without Gunner is not PUBG.
This is true. We
It's
need
true.
all the Vanessa Carlton all the time.
All right. Okay. Here, I'm gonna make it official. Last question.
Last
Alright.
question. Okay.
Last question. We've been talking for fucking.
You haven't
Yeah.
asked any funny
Look
questions
at
yet.
McCoy's
Failed.
got to go
He's-
get his.
I gotta go to my
McCoy's got-
Starbucks. Come
Yeah,
on.
McCoy's got Starbucks
Oh,
to get.
yeah. Gosh, California.
Pat's got to go get another beer. But all right. So let's see. So we've had FaZe, Liquid, who else? Navi now, Ghost. So
What are we naming
teams that have won lands recently
Yeah.
from NA or EU, right? All these teams that have been considered, at one point or another, the top team in the world. Do you have any predictions or guesses as to who the top team in the world is going to be once roster Royale is finished? I'll
You have
throw it
to
out. I'll throw it out to chat too. I'll throw it out to everybody.
Well,
I'll say-
chat,
I'm just
chat's caught up in
curious.
this whole thing about forcing Jabroni to go get coffee for McCoy. So
It's true.
I know.
I
Like,
say
do
so.
your job.
I think for EU, I'd say Liquid, and I think from NA, it'd probably be Envy, depending on who they pick up as their,
Yeah.
third,
Third or
and then their
fourth.
fourth.
Third and their
Yeah.
fourth. Yeah.
Yeah,
Third and their fourth. Pat, what do you think?
I think that's I think that's about right.
Sticking with Liquid?
Uh,
You don't think FaZe will rebound?
I don't think so. They haven't been doing as well as FaZe usually does, online at least.
yeah, I think Liquid's just. Yeah, I feel like Liquid. It's definitely Liquid, and I don't know. Maybe the Reckoning will.
The
Shut
The
everyone
Reckoning
up.
I'm very interested in. By the way, I'm sorry,
Yeah, I wanna see
Discord's
how
right
that
now
goes out.
flashing everybody's
Yeah,
screens
it's
black
I don't know
every
what
once in a while.
that's
Yeah.
weird.
It's not on us. I don't think it's anything else like that. Just Discord things. But
Yeah.
at this point, what I don't understand is how come somebody hasn't just walked up to Skoom and gone, here's a lot of money. Make me a
Build
PUBG
us a
esports
team."
and organization, or give us a team. Like he's got a knack for it at this point. Like he's just good at it. So the Reckoning, I think, is actually somebody to keep a really close eye on.
Well, I don't
Yeah.
think he wants. I don't think he wants to make the roster first, Because yeah, there's no point like just signing a team and then doing like the old liquid where like they go to
Yeah.
Oakland, they shit the bed, and then he's like, okay, give me 150K and I'll buy you some players, you know? Because now he's like the racketing's doing good, but I think they failed on the Bravo this week, unfortunately, or Wednesday.
Hmm,
But, like it's just gonna be like
really?
I think he'll be ready by the time Pro League qualifiers start.
But you think for sure he's gonna get another team? Probably get
Yeah.
signed, right?
Yeah, he'll probably be
Probably.
like if he makes that team, he'll be like either Fnatic, 100 Thieves, SK, every other org that's not in yet.
TSM EU.
TSM.
And I think TSM's too worried about like branding, so they're gonna keep breaking Roy for a bit.
Well, I
Yeah,
mean,
they-
Scoop
Oh,
fits the
so-
TSM profile though, doesn't he?
So what
Like,
about Break, Rory, T-Bone, and then what's his name, like VZ or something? Isn't that guy British?
They
VZ?
make the UK
I don't know
squad?
if I don't
Yeah,
know if he's
I think-
Fast Rail?
Chat, help
Fastrail,
us out.
maybe.
Ooh,
'Cause
Fastrail.
I think
I like Fastrail. I think he's.
I think they're trying to do a UK squad.
UK squad? Oh, just straight UK?
Yeah.
I mean, it makes sense for those boys. I mean, they'd be able to play on the same time. So
Reckoning is still an alpha.
Are they
VZ,
are?
yikes, ooh.
Still
Still an alpha? Okay.
the yikes of easy. All right, that's all I got, Matrym.
All
Hey, Sharp Shot. If you were a Disney princess, who would it be?
Sharp. Why are you asking Sharp Shot? Just randomly asking
Sharpshot
chat.
was a Disney
Oh, I'm
princess.
Sharp. Pat Caps.
If I was a Disney princess, or
Yes. If you could be a
God.
Disney princess, who would it be?
it's a strange question.
I don't
Yeah,
even know
it is.
any Disney princesses.
I got a different question for you.
I've got
I'm interested.
a question for you, Poro.
Oh yeah.
Does Nala from the Lion King count as a Disney princess?
Yes.
Yeah, of course. Don't be speciesist.
You-
It's 2018,
Oh
dog.
no, sorry.
Yeah, it's 2018. dude.
Bring Tumblr at me now. I'm waiting for it.
What do you got, Pat?
I was gonna say Sleeping Beauty because who doesn't love to sleep all day, right?
So that'd be McCoy.
McCoy's already said like that's the perfect woman.
That's the one, dude. Perfect choice.
Because people are sleeping on you.
Oh,
Yeah,
there you
yeah.
go.
Hey,
All right, McCoy.
Yep.
F1, marry one, kill one. Afflux, Bixel, Jabroni.
Oof. Wait, what? Fuck one, marry
Smurf
one,
knows what's
kill
up,
one.
Jasmine.
Yeah.
Jasmine's where it's at.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Jabroni seems a little like spicy in the bed, so I'm gonna have to fuck Jabroni.
Okay, makes sense.
clip it.
Fuck Chris Dunbar, so I'm gonna have to kill him, and then I'll marry Aflux.
I like I use his real name.
Yeah, full name. He's like full commit right here. This is the way it's gonna go down. Bixel's fucking dead.
All right, Matrym, tell us what anime we should watch this week.
If you
anime.
haven't watched the newest episode, I fucking hate you so much. I'll stab you. I'm going to California this weekend. I will find you and hunt you down. If you haven't watched the last episode of My Hero Academia, go do it. Shit's amazing.
There you go.
I'm gonna tell you, go old school and watch Yu Yu Hakusho.
Ooh.
Show's good.
this
Respect for
guy.
that one. Yeah.
All right, take us out.
All right. So with that, guys, we're at about an hour or so when somebody has to go get coffee. But obviously, it seems like you guys really want this to be a little bit longer. So next time we'll try to plan it out. Maybe if somebody doesn't fuck up all the scrim settings, we can get here a little bit
Yeah,
earlier.
Poro.
Come
Fuck
through there.
the
God.
fuck up. Jesus Christ.
All right. So with this, if you guys have ideas for things for us to talk about or anything pops up, feel free to follow everybody around here. You can see all the messages and all the markers and stuff like that. So that way you can hop on Twitter. If you don't like what we said or you want to clip something, make sure you at least tag us in clips. That way we at least get a chance to banter back, because I'm willing to bet something inside of this is probably going to get clipped and shown somewhere. High ground probably already has it.
100%.
All right.
Yeah, 100%.
But with that, you guys, our players, do you have anything that you want to say before you want to go? We'll start off with Pat Caps. Do you at least want to make the sound again?
there
There
you
you go.
Easy.
There you go. All right. McCoy? And he doesn't, but he closed it off, and so now all of our
I was
settings.
going to give a shout out to our Code Red champion, McCoy, but no.
I know. Hold on. He broke everything by just jumping off real quick. So
Just sign us out. Just get us the fuck out of here.
it's
Matt.
broken.
Bail.
McCoy, this is what you did.
Bail.
Okay, that's it. Get out. Everybody, run away. We gotta get this done. Bye.
Bye, chat. We'll see you next week.